So lots of people seem to think that The Flash is a dead bag, like a show that can't really return to like the really good show that it was in season one, two, and maybe even three. But well, I think it can really much because even in the like it really had good parts in season one and two because it had good writing, and yeah, it was kind of the same repeating story as season one, but it had a lot of stuff that exceeded season one. And also season three, there were a lot of bad moments, but overall, it was a good season nonetheless. It had a pretty good villain. Flashpoint was wasted, but overall, it was good. And even in season four and season five, there were still good moments in both of these seasons that I actually like. For example, in season four, there was the trial of the Flash, which was pretty good. In season, also in season four, there was a bit of a few other stuff. Like there were really good episodes. One of my favorite episodes of The Flash to date, season four, episode 15, which was a fantastic episode in my opinion. It has a lot of good elements, but the overall story arc was not. It wasn't like horrible nonetheless. It just wasn't that good. Also, the bad elements in season four. It's just when DeVoe was played by Neil Sanders, he was a pretty good villain nonetheless. But now he was terrible after this. Like the body swap. Like what? The writer, please, why? Just make him be played by Neil Sandland. He was a great actor. Like, when he was played by Neil Sandland, the season was actually pretty good. So there are good elements. And season 5, there, it is my least favorite season of The Flash, but there are good elements inside, like the 100th episode, episode 18, Godspeed, episode 1, Nora, um episode 22 Legacy, like because of Reverse Flash only. But it was a really there's a lot it has a lot of good episodes, and there's storylines in there that actually worked, and it started off pretty well with a decent villain in Cicada in the first like 8 episodes. So now going on to the next topic, a villain that we can actually take seriously, not a villain who tries to overreact or just tries to be, oh, I'm such a good villain. We need a villain that's good. For just take Cicada for example. Cicada is bad. In the first 8 episodes, he was a fine villain. Yeah, he was pretty menacing. His suit was weird, but he wasn't a horrible villain nonetheless. But after that, I'm sorry to say like every other episode 8, episode 9, they could have defeated him. Episode 8, Cicada could have thrown the dagger to a dead Earth. Why throw it to outer space? Wow. What if there's cautions? He was able to take his dagger from outer space. That's how strong his connection is. Unless he somehow was able to get his dagger from another Earth, which I'm pretty sure is impossible. So, why didn't you throw it to, like, Earth 15 or whatever that dead Earth is? Like, why are you so stupid? Really? But I think the writer knew that most of us hated Cicada. And after that, what did they do? So once it looked like the writers would like get rid of Cicada, the thing they did was give us a new one that's even worse. Miles worse than this. And Grace from the future? Like what? What was their thinking? Like literally. We didn't want to see a terrible villain again. We didn't want to see a villain who used a dagger to steal powers, and who was just supposed to be this person who has such a bad rivalry with the Flash, and who's just a downright horrible villain, except just putting a villain who everyone loves, who's still there. They could have made Reverse Flash the villain for the second half of season 5, and I think people would have loved that. I'm sure people would, because Reverse Flash is just, for me, the best live action comic book villain I've ever seen. He is such a good villain, and they just wanted to not put it. Like, what? I say this is how season 5 should have been reformed. It should have had the first half should have been Cicada, because Cicada won, because he was a pretty good villain. And the second half, fine. And then in episode 8, they defeat him. Then Cicada 2 comes in. Fine. Okay? Don't make her super annoying. Make her actually be a decent villain, like Cicada 1 in the first 8 episodes, just a fine one. But then make a plot twist that Dawn was the reason behind these two cicadas. And then boom, you you get a first half decent, second half amazing. Overall, a solid season. But no, the writers didn't do that. Till like the last episode. What? And also something the first half of season 6 succeeds at a lot is with a good villain in Bloodwork. Bloodwork is a fantastic villain. And the first half of season 6 succeeds in it because they use simple writing. Barry was about to die in crisis. Ramsey was dying from HLH. He would do anything to find a cure for it. Barry was trying to prepare Team Fly for it. And Barry was trying to find a cure for Ramsey. It didn't work because HLH inside Ramsey was already too severe. Ramsey uses dark matter, blah blah. It drives him mad because the dark matter somehow warped his mind, maybe. I have no idea. And he becomes Bloodwork, someone who wants to make people immortal by taking away their immigrant soul and making them into zombies. Yeah, that may sound like weird, but the execution of the first half was great, and Bloodwork was such a good villain in that. But the thing the second half of the Flash series fails at miserably is a horrible villain in Eva. Not nearly as bad as Cicada, but Eva is a horrible villain. And even though Bloodwork doesn't really have the biggest personal connection to Barry, the personal connection Eva has to someone is Iris. And yeah, Iris, not Mirror Iris, but normal Iris was good this season. Like, she was reporting. That's what she should be doing. Yeah, it was not bad. But why do we want a villain with a connection to Iris? The thing that makes Reverse Flash so good is because of his personal connection to Barry. The thing that makes Deathstroke so good from Arrow Season 2 is because in Season 1 of Arrow, we got to see in the flashbacks, we got to see their friendship develop. But in Season 2, all of a sudden, we don't get, we see the hatred that they have for each other, and we don't understand why. Even though they do put clues, that's when Arrow Season 2 succeeds. Arrow Season 1 and 2 are like movies. Like, they connect to each other in the best of ways. That's what makes it so good. That's what makes Arrow such a good show. It connects to each other. But it doesn't here. Yeah, first, the Flash Season 7, for the first time, Godspeed confirmed to be the main villain, or at least one main villain, and I think he should. Maybe make the clones come out of nowhere, blah blah clone, but then make the, like, this is my idea, make the real Godspeed come, and then when they defeat the real Godspeed by like episode 10, maybe, I have no idea, but make it early-ish in the season by like the mid-season finale they defeat, and then they learn that this Godspeed is just like the other clones, a chalkless person with powers. And then I think they should have a twist at the end showing another villain, Red Death. In my opinion, Red Death should be Eddie, and he should be the main villain for the Flash Season 7. Yeah, in my opinion, Red Death should be the main villain. Yeah, the CW may not have the rights to get Red Death. I'm pretty sure they do, but they may not. But I say just use him. It's not a big deal. Just use Red Death. When you use Red Death, everything will work fine. Then make him Eddie, make a plot twist, and make the villain be good. Make a good season long storyline, which is going to be the next thing I talk about. So the main thing the Flash needs is a good season long storyline. And you think this picture is just a random picture of off online or whatever, but a good season long storyline is mainly what the Flash needs. Season 6's first half has a good season long storyline, even though it's just a person getting driven mad. It's still a good one nonetheless, and the execution is what matters. But if they put a good season long storyline with maybe a few twists and turns, just like the Flash season 1 and 2, that are pretty unexpected, then the Flash can be as good as it was in season 1 and 2, mainly, but in most of season 3, mainly the first half. The first half of season 3 was pretty good, not the second. And it also should be a speedster villain. Like, I'm getting tired of non-speedsters. Bloodwork was amazing, that's one thing, but I'm getting tired of non-speedster villain. Like, we have a speedster villain that's intimidating, a good villain, because every speedster so far has at least been a decentish, goodish villain, mainly Reverse Flash. Saboteur, for me, is not that good of a villain, he's just a fine villain. Fine villain. First I thought he was horrible back 3 years ago, but now he's a fine villain. I respect him. He's not that bad. So that's really all I need to. That's really all I want for the Flash season 6. Flash season 7. A good season 1 storyline and a good villain with plot twists that we can take seriously.